Hello guys, so welcome back. Today we are going to be practicing some question of pairs in STL C++. So if you have not read about pairs yet, you should go and read them. They are quite simple. And again we have asked ChatGPT to give us some questions. Hopefully there will be some good questions in this that will help us understand and implement pairs in such a way that if we ever have to tackle and apply them in any specific way or the way they should be applied in the real world, then we will be able to. So the first three questions of this, I am not going to be doing these are a bit too simple. I am starting from this fourth question. You can also try them with me if you want to. I will go quiet now. Okay, this was kind of a pointless question, but why I still did it is because now I have this code saved for taking the input and for printing the output. So I will just be using this for future questions. Now we can move on to some actual decent questions, hopefully, starting from this first one, intermediate level. By the way, these questions are just to practice pairs in STL so that we can understand and use pairs efficiently. So if we ever have to use them in the future, we don't get stuck anywhere. So it isn't like it is a possibility that there might not be any kind of like good questions in this if you want to practice like DSA or something for your interviews or anything. And if there are some good questions, we might solve them in a bit of an inefficient way because we want to be practicing pairs only. So we will be applying pairs in any way possible for solving the question. So that is it. I just wanted to let you know that the questions might not be exceptional, but at least they will help us understand how to use pairs. So in case we want to use them in the future, we won't be struggling. So anyways, I will mute myself now and we will move on to the next question. You can also try it out with me if you want to. Okay, so this was a very simple question. We just had to sort. So we were given a list of student names and their marks. So we basically created a pair of string and integers. The first part of the pair is the name of the student, and the second part is their marks. So I just created a comparator to sort them in descending order. You can also do ascending order if you want to, that doesn't matter. I just in the comparator I passed two pairs and just returned p1.second greater than p2.second. Basically, since this is descending order, we want the first one to be greater than the second one. So anyways, this is it for this question. Now we can move on to the next one. You can also try it out with me if you want to. Okay, so we have solved this question as well, the sixth one. This was very simple. We were given an array of integers, and we just had to in the result we just had to store a pair which contained the element from the array and the frequency of that element appearing in the array. So uh, what I did in this case is I used the inbuilt count function to count the target, or basically how many times an element is appearing. Then I am adding the element and its frequency to the result vector using a placeback, and then I'm removing all of those values. So then I'm removing that element and all of its duplicates from the array. Of course, you don't have to do this question like this at all. You can do it however you want, but I am practicing pairs, so that's why I decided to do it like this. Otherwise you can just there are simpler methods of solving this question. For example, just directly use a map or something. In fact, let me ask ChatGPT if this method of solving it is the most efficient method to solve it for pairs or not. Okay, so we have solved this question as well. Insanely simple. We just had to create a vector of pairs of integers and just take input of for this vector. So now we have a vector of pair of integers, and we just had to return whatever can be the maximum sum of a pair in the vector. So very simple, just run a for loop and check if if the sum of the first and second of the current pair is greater than the maximum or not, if and update it accordingly, whichever one is the maximum. And there you have it. That way you can have your answer. Now we can just move on to the next one. You can also try solving it with me if you want to. Okay guys, so we have solved this question as well. I think the test case given by ChatGPT is wrong in this case, but let me explain it to you quickly first. So this was a pair sum problem, very simple. We were given a vector of integers and we were given a target value. So from that vector of integers we had to find indices I and j such that the sum of the elements at those indices was equal to the target, and we were supposed to return a vector of pairs containing these two integers I comma j. So what I did for this is, after taking the input, I created this vector called result, which contains element in the form of pairs of two integers which are going to be I and j. So then I ran a for loop from 0 to n. Then in it I used a find function to find the target minus vector of I, which if it exists, it will give us the index of the element, or I should say the iterator, where the element is uh, equal to target minus vector of I. Basically the sum of these two elements is going to be equal to the target. So, and if this iterator is not equal to vector dot end, basically if we have actually found an index that satisfies target minus vector of I, that means we have found the second index whose sum is going to be equal to the target. So what I'm going to do in that case, I'm just going to add it to the result and place back I comma the iterator minus vector dot begin. Now why I am doing this is, whatever value of that iterator might be, it can be anything. It might be the address, since it uses references and stuff. So iterator won't directly give you the index, but what you can do is you can subtract vector dot begin from it, so you will be getting the index in that case, and you can just simply print the result. So as you can see, the array was 1 4 5 3 2, the target was 6, so 0 comma 2, these are the indexes by the way. So 0th index is 1, second index is 5, 1 plus 5 6, first index, fourth index, first index is 4, fourth index is 2, so 4 plus 2 is 6. Then another is 2 comma 0, which is obviously if 0 comma 2 is there, 2 comma 0 is also going to be there, and 3 comma 3, which is we have 3 on the third index, so 3 plus 3 is 6. Similarly 4 comma 1. So that is how the answer should be. I don't know what ChatGPT is doing in this case. For the test case it says 0 comma 1. 0 comma 1 is 1 comma 4, so 1 plus 4 is 5. It's not equal to the target, but okay. Again 2 comma 4 is correct. 2 comma 4 is incorrect. It should be 1 comma 4. Yeah, again incorrect. 2 comma 4 will be 7, and 3 comma 4 is again 3 is 0 1 2 3. 3 plus 2, which is going to be 5. So I don't know what it tried to do here with the test case, but okay. Anyways, we have solved it to the best of our understanding. Now we can move on to the next question. Now these are advanced STL integration. Don't know how these works, but you can also try them out with me if you want to. I will go quiet now. You can also try solving it along with me. Okay guys, so I have solved this question as well. This was a very good question for practicing pair and understanding how they can be used with maps. So what we needed to do in this question there is that we had to create a map of a pair of integer, comma integer, and an integer, so that we can calculate the frequency of 2D points. But if you pass the pair directly to the unordered map or any kind of map, then it crashes because uh, it only understands how to uh, use hash, how to do hashing for inbuilt data types, for example integer, string, not something like a pair. So for that we had to create a custom pair hash using struct. So what we did in this case is, in the struct pair underscore hash, we first create the operator. So this operator is what is called, so we pass this pair underscore hash to the unordered map, and this operator is called inside it. So what it is its data type is size underscore t, and in it we have to pass the pair. But one thing to note is that we have to pass a constant pair, because the hash function expects a constant pair. That's just how it works. And we also have to define this operator as constant itself as well, as we its data type needs to be immutable, or you don't want it changing in the end. So that's why you have to use another constant function here. And then what we do is we return. First we find the hash of the first part of the pair. So this is how we do it: hash int and p dot first. And we find the hash of the second part of the pair, but we left shift the second part of the pair by 1 bit. So what we are doing is, left shifting multiplies any number with 2 or power of 2, depending on what it is here. So in this case it is 1, so it will be 2 to the power 1. So we are multiplying p dot second with 2 to the power 1, and then we are finding its hash function. ChatGPT just told me that is how it is done, as it introduces like more of a variability, or whatever you might want to call it. The jump is like quite far. It is a big difference. For this, let me show you. Yeah, so shifting it changes the bit pattern quite aggressively. You can also shift it by multiple bits. I don't think it should matter. And then you use the XOR operator in between these two to find the final hash value. So by the way, left shifting by some bits changes the bit pattern aggressively and reduces collisions. That is why it is doing that. So this is the way you define a custom hash function if needed for the pairs. I think this is important to notice, because what if you are solving like any kind of DSA question in the future and you have to use a pair along with a map, then you won't be able to do it unless you know how this custom hash function works, or how you create a custom hash function. Otherwise it won't work. So this works fine. Then you can just do simple map pair plus plus, and at the end just print the output. It is correct, we can see over here as well. So this was it for this question. Very good question for understanding how to implement a custom hashing function for your pairs. You should remember that. Just like this. So anyways, now we can move on to the next question. You can also try it out with me if you want to. Okay, so 10th question, it is a bit useless. I am going to be avoiding this for now. because we have already solved the I think it was the fifth question. Yeah, we have already solved the fifth question, and it is same as the fifth question. You just have to create a custom function for sorting. I think you can do that, so I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not going to be solving this one. We can just move on to the next question. You can also try it out with me if you want to. By the way, you can also try out the 10th question by pausing the video. I'm just not doing it because we have already solved the 5th question, but anyways, it is as you wish. Now I will mute myself. Okay, so we have solved 11th question as well. What we had to do in 11th question is we were given an array, and what we had to do is we had to store the elements of the array along with their indices, and then we had to sort that array, and then we had to print the new array along with the old indexes, you can kind of say. So let me show it to you. What it means is basically, so you have this array, you store it with along with its indices, like 50 with 0, 20 with 1, 40 with 2, 10 with 3, 30 with 4, and then you sort this array, so it will become 10, 20, 30, 40. So then you print the sorted values along with their original indexes. So Very simple question. I just, when taking an input, instead of taking an input of the array directly, I just took the input of the array, and I just stored array values along with their indexes, and then I just use this custom comparator to sort them in ascending order, with the first value being the element itself, the second being the index, and then after sorting I just printed them out. So this is it for this question. Very simple. I think with these two questions, like 10th and 11th question, it just basically wanted us to understand how sorting would work with pairs, but since we already know that, this question was not challenging at all. Now we can just move on to the next one. You can also try it out with me if you want to. Well, actually, I'm going to avoid solving this 12th question because it is again kind of the same thing. All that we have done until now, it just combines it into one question. What it wants us to do in this is, we are given an array. We have to use a map to count the frequency of the elements, and then we have to push it, the frequency comma element pair, in the vector, and then we just sort by frequency in descending order. This is very simple. If you have done all of the questions till now, you will be able to do this as well. I am just going to move on to the bonus questions if they are useful. So we will start with the 13th question. You can also try solving it along with me if you want to. Okay, so 13th question was quite simple. Again, a very simple question. We just we were given a list of pairs, and from which we just had to find the pair appearing the maximum number of times. So what I did is I just created an unordered map, and for each pair I just kept a track of how many times it is appearing, basically the frequency. And then we have a variable p, which is a pair itself. So each time we just check if the frequency of the current element in the map is greater than the frequency of the pair p. If it is, then p gets updated to the current pair, and so on. So this is it for this question. Very simple, kind of a waste of time this one was, but okay, anyways. Now we can just move on to the next one. You can also try it out with me if you want to. Okay guys, so we have solved this one as well, the 14th question. In it, all we had to do is we had to store edges of an undirected graph using a pair. So what we needed to ensure is that there were no duplicates in it. And so what I did for this question is very simple. So let me show you the test case first. So yeah, if you don't know how an undirected graph works, is that if you have two nodes, A and B, so since it is undirected, you can travel from both A to B and B to A, and there is no specified direction in which that you have to move. So here we have 5 inputs, so we have 1, 2 and 2, 1. So 1, 2 and 2, 1 are basically same. You are storing the same edges again because it is not defining direction in this case. It is undirected. So it is pointless to store 2, 1 separately. Again with 3, 4 and 4, 3 and 1, 2 again. So we just need to store unique edges. So what I did for this one is quite simple. Obviously we had the initial pair in which we are taking the input, which is P. So P dot first and P dot second we take as input. Then we create a copy of this pair P. I just named it P1, and you swap the first and second of P with P1. So basically, the first of P1 is going to be the second of P, and the second of P1 is going to be the first of P. And then I just use a find function to see if this pair P exists or not, and if pair P1 exists or not. If either of them exists, then I just move ahead. I don't push it in the vector. If they don't exist, then I push it in the vector. This is how I avoided duplicate pairs. So this is the way I solved it. There is a possibility that this is not the best way of solving it. So let us see. Let me ask ChatGPT if this is the best way of solving it or not. Just a second. Okay, so this is a very smart way of solving this one actually. Very smart way in my opinion. So what it is doing is it is always just storing them in a same order, basically the smaller node first and the bigger node after it inside a set. I was also going to use a set in the beginning, but since I did not know how it worked with pairs, I avoided it. So this is a very good way. Let me just code this as well. You can also try it if you want to. So what you can do is in the set you can just insert a pair and basically you check what is the minimum between the two. and what is a maximum between the two. So this will always be storing it in one order, so even if you get solved one later on, that would not matter. Let me print out the output as well. S in vec. Yeah, I might have made a mistake somewhere. Let's see. That's fine. Command put inside. So again we have to create a separate hash for this. Similarly, the way we did with maps, so we just have to provide it the hashing accordingly. So let us rewrite the code for it. Oh, we already have it. You know what, I just want to write it again, why not? Struct pair underscore hash. Just writing it again can make me remember it better. That is the reason why I'm doing it. Underscore t operator. We have to pass in a constant pair, and the output should also be constant, and then we return hash of both. First, taking a XOR of both of them. Here, reload. Second, and we will left shifted by one, not left shifted. You can shit on it if you want. I don't mind, but you can left shift on it. So basically multiplying it by 2 to the power 1, and now this should work just fine. Pair underscore hash. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this works. Oh, let me see the output quickly. 5 1 2 2 1 3 4 4 3 1 2. Yeah, so we get this as the output. Correct? Completely correct. Now we can move on to the last question. You can also try it out with me if you want to. I will become quiet now. Okay, so the last one was pretty easy as well. We were just supposed to use multi-map to store class, and along with class the name of the students and their marks. So the pair would contain the name of the student and the marks, and the key of the map would be the class itself. So you just create a multi-map simply. In for the multi-map, in this case you won't actually need to create the hash function, because hashing works on the key. So since the key is your normal integer, you don't have to create a separate hash function. If the key was the pair, then you would have had to create the hash function accordingly. But anyways, so after this, what I did is I just inserted all of the values like this. In You can't just use square brackets in this like a normal map. In multi-map, we have to use the dot insert method, and inside of it you pass the key and the value itself in curly braces. So the whole thing is an element itself, you can say. So that is how you add it. And then I just printed out everything, as you can see, for class 10 Charlie, class 10 Alice, class 12 Bob, class 12 David. Let me ask ChatGPT if I did this one correctly, because I would love to know if I can print the output the way ChatGPT printed it, just to see if it is possible or not. Let us see. Sorry about that. Well, it gave me kind of the brute force logic for it. So I was expecting it to maybe like show me if there are some inbuilt function or something. For example, in Python you can directly access the keys as well in a dictionary, but I don't think that is possible in C++. So what it is telling me to do is for just iterate the map itself, and for each value take the name of the class, name and marks, and if the class is not the same as previous class, so you also keep a previous class variable. If it is not same as previous class, then what you do is you update the previous class and print the class as well. That is it. So you will get output in this format. Okay, but anyways, that is one way of doing it. With this we have solved all of the problems of pairs. For the most of it, none of the questions were challenging in any way or like really that helpful. I think the only thing that I learned from this is how to use custom hashing, which is very very useful in future if I ever need to use it again anywhere. I think now I know how to use it and I will be able to. So yeah, that is it. Next time we will be solving questions, I think on stacks or something. We will see. So see you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye.
So please whatever. Please I want to reach 1 million likes. So please Sarapakarai. Okay, thank you.